we are back in the car, me in Rose City, and we began a really rather funny conversation that I stopped immediately so I could do more filming of us. We are in his Audi, his bad boy Audi. Funny enough, with my rental car on this trip, I'm rocking Audi, representing Audi as well. And his has got the turbo, and he punched it down. And he went into a really funny statistic. Go ahead and tell us the stat, bro.
Oh, yeah. It was just a story I came across several years ago, which essentially said that research found... Now, the quality of the research and all I don't know about, but I got it on Twitter, which we all know is the most reliable source.
Yeah, absolutely. No fake news there.
None whatsoever. And there's going to be only good things happening now with Elon Musk, that statistically, BMW drivers are the likeliest to be the biggest douchebags on the road.
Well, as a former BMW driver, although
not you, and I briefly owned a BMW too.
I had an older one, so I think it's maybe the newer one, certainly yeah. M3 guys might be possible candidates for general douchebaggery.
Yeah.
But that is really funny that someone bothered to do a study.
And I have to say that anecdotally, I made a couple of research trips abroad this year.
Yeah.
And I was in Italy, and in European cities, and I was in Barcelona before that in the year. European cities, for the most part, you don't see the range of cars, luxury cars, at higher level that you see in the US, especially not in the Bay Area.
Right.
Europeans drive hatches, smaller hatches. I saw a neon green BMW, which is fine in and of itself.
Zombie green.
A kind of weird neon zombie Halloween green. But the guys were driving way over the limit, and they were driving in an obnoxious way. And they, were these two like young guys. It's just strange. And again, I saw, I saw a few Mercs in Barcelona, which I don't know, they were limos or, diplomat cars or something. But the most aggressive driving I saw again, because I did I took some time out and we spent a day out of the city.
Yeah.
And on the freeway, or the equivalent to take again the most aggressive driving was a guy in a BMW with BMW.
I have a minor question before we go any further. My question is, are you okay driving and chatting? I am perfectly fine when I'm doing it, but I just realized, you know what? Maybe he's not accustomed to it. So you can focus on the road. You don't have to look at the camera.
I'm focusing on the road. I'm fine. Yeah. And I think that, not...
Yeah, it's just like us chit-chatting.
I
drive on Riles Barkley.
Yeah. I love that name.
Riles Barkley.
Riley girl.
I gave your dog a really cool hobbyofhours name. Riles Barkley.
I call her Riley, Riles.
Yeah.
Variants of that, but Riles Barkley is a fantastic.
Riles Barkley is the name. All right, so for the purposes of, first of all, I have to say, not to put any of my other watch bros to shame, but I have never gotten as many episodes out of a watch bro as we got yesterday, which was 6. 6 episodes. G Money, Big C, Kurt. Gotta put you on notice, is like killing it, crushing it in the content department. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you. I'm very flattered.
Yeah, we were only hanging out for maybe 3 or 4 hours, so we're gonna try and get some more episodes in today. This episode, we're gonna chit chat a little bit about the watches we're wearing and some cars as well, because it's related. I am wearing the Zen. Let's get it out. The Zen 158. I'll pop up a better picture. Yeah, keep your hands on the wheel. But you are wearing the Nevada Grenchen. Let's see if it gets it. Boom. Nevada Grenchen Chronomaster. I brought these both out for us to explore. Like that one, I wanted to share with G and Kurt, and he loved it. Kurt's not seen it yet. I myself, I don't wear it near enough. And this watch I actually bought because it was at such a great price, and you were interested in it, but you were hemming and hawing, and I just pulled the trigger.
This was the reissue, right? And you bought it when it was released, when the company revived.
Yeah, and it was... I'd owned the previous version of this, the previous reissue, which was Zen claims to have found like 300 cases in the back office, and they dropped in new movements. And I owned that watch very briefly, and I flipped it. I made money on it.
Yeah.
But I should have held on to it because I missed it immediately, and it also shot up immediately, so I couldn't re-own it. But this one popped. This one has red accents, different handset, and it's got a date. It's got a Salida inside. It's a great watch, same form factor, same button style. But when you said you were interested in it and you were hemming and hawing, it's like, you know what, this price is too good. I just pulled the trigger.
Well,
and I was like,
design,
I figured out if nothing else, I would enjoy it. If you weren't interested in committing to it, which is what turned out to be the case, totally cool. And I'm gonna make money when I move it on as well because it was limited. It's gorgeous, and I'm not really looking to move it yet, anyways. Except I would sell it to you if you wanted it. But
well, I would love to have a bicompact dual register. I've had a couple over the years which haven't stayed. And again, the placement of the registers, I'm kind of finicky about that. It's perfect.
You've always liked the bicompacts.
I've loved the bicompacts, but everything's perfect. I don't know where I stand on full loom just yet.
Oh, okay. So in this case, you're actually referencing the Nevada he's got on, and it has. I have to give them credit. I own the original one, a vintage one, and they did such a wonderful. You know how some companies will do a reissue, but there'll be something dramatically changed, like
right,
they'll go up from. Like I bought. Benris reissued the Steve McQueen Bullet watch.
Yeah.
The old one was 36. The reissue is 39. Now, it arrived while I'm out here on workation, but I'm completely happy with that because the 39 is going to be more appealing. I want them to sell some watches. I want them to enjoy some success, make some money. It's okay. But that's the type of dramatic change in a reissue that's off-putting to some.
Right.
This watch, it's near 1-to-1. It's not the Valjoux movement, but it's okay. I think that is also a Salida. I'm not entirely certain.
The movement thing,
it's gorgeous.
I mean, the movement thing is, it's if you're a dedicated collector, or for me, it's it's an interesting thing. But I think people who are at just a higher level of collecting and sophistication, I think the movement matters to them. What I've learned about the movement is that if you bought a watch, and one of the reasons why it's expensive, like a Zenith, right, is because of marvelous movement. But then if you are trying to trade it in or sell it, the movement doesn't really count for much, right?
I guess it depends on who's buying, how you're selling, its conditions, certainly. But the reality is the watch you're wearing, the vintage Nevada I have, I can't use it for its intended purpose. Chronomaster, Aviator, Sea Diver.
Everything
it's an everything watch. I'm not going to check while we're driving, but I don't know if it's a screw down crown. I don't think it is. But the only other unusual thing that Nevada did with it, the old school ones and the one I bought, manual wind. They did release it in an auto.
Yeah.
And these are pretty affordable,
so
one way or the other.
Right?
No, that's the manual.
So they have, and the manual would be, the auto would be a little cheaper, right?
No, I think it's the same.
Okay.
But the auto is way thicker, way thicker. And the nice thing about the manual is it wears well. I think you're gonna change your tune on that.
The full.
It's a 40 mm.
40 mm is
you're gonna love
sweet spot. It's beautiful. The loom is. It may just be a psychology. It may be one of those things that in like who knows, 2 weeks later it doesn't bother me at all.
Well, here's the thing. That hour hand is pretty huge, right? So there's no getting around it. You're gonna have to look at it all the time. Enjoy it for the day and let me know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. I got something sort of similar, the Lejour with the lollipop hand. I mean, I almost got it.
Yeah.
But, it was again an expensive watch. It was a vintage watch, and I think Analog Shift had it. So, again, like the guy at Analog Shift, I forget his name. He's really nice and great conversation.
They run a great outfit.
They really do, and, I get it. So, vintage is one of those stores which you can absolutely rely on, so this is fantastic. The only concern again I had was, I'm always going to be like walking on eggshells, wearing a
vintage chronograph, you never know what you're going to go into.
Yeah, and then, the loom wasn't full loom there, but, the lollipop hand was quite lovely. I have to say,
I mean, Lejour is an unusual company. They have a lot of lookalikes, like in their. I don't know enough about their history, but they make a lot of watches that look like other watches. So they're not. I don't think they're in the. They're in the approachable category during era. I don't believe they're in the innovation era. I don't want to say that too strongly though, because I've not researched them, but they're back in business. I don't know if it's the same company or the same owners, whatever, but the brand name has been revived.
Right.
And they've got some interesting watches.
They've got a lot of interesting panda style watches, and I think they do the I've
vintage
seen,
racing and stuff.
Yeah, the vintage racing. I've seen the dual register and the triple registers.
Riley,
in the 60s.
Give me a kiss, Rouse.
Really good.
Not you, the dog. Yeah.
She's delighted to have company.
I know, your dog is so cool. I love labs. And she's the right size too. Is she a mix?
She is not a mix. She was the runt of the litter. She
run of the litter.
6 pounds 3 ounces when we got her at about 9 weeks or so.
Because I'm used to labs being far bigger.
Yeah.
And she's like perfect size.
Yeah, we actually thought that she would. This is what I put her in a puppy training school.
Yeah.
All the stuff you have to do. The vet, etc. People actually thought that she's going to top out at between 40 to 50, and she's about
30.
No, she's 65.
Oh, she is?
Yeah. She'll go up. I mean,
someone's eating good in the house.
Yeah, labs eat all the time. She's 65, between 65 and 70, and that she needs to be at 65. Above that is unhealthy. Generally, labs should be lean, and they will eat all day.
Lean and mean, like this hot rod you're driving.
That is true.
Give me what are the quick specs on this? What's this engine got? Do you have any idea?
I think it's pushing about 284 horsepower. It's the black optics package. I just got lucky with it. It was a 2019.
What is it? S4?
It's an A5.
A5.
And it's the S line, the sport line.
So it's S5.
A5.
Oh, A5.
It's an A5, but it's the sporting line. So,
okay. For some reason, I thought the S participated in the reference then.
Yeah. The S is, so the A5, the S is sort of one level higher, and then the RS is another level higher.
Oh, all right.
But, at 285 horsepower, it's plenty car for what I do. And as I said, it was, now there's this insane shortage of cars, but lease, and because it was a high mileage lease, and I was going to be working from home for 2 years, I wasn't going to be using the miles. I would have lost money on the lease. So I went in, and I wasn't particularly planning on buying this because, the A5 is an expensive car, and I was looking at a used one, but the gentleman at Audi San Francisco, lovely people.
Shout out to Audi San Francisco.
Yeah, Sergey Chulyakov. He was like, because it's 2020, right? And they need to move stuff every month, and they need to move the 2019. And he said, this is what I have. And what was fascinating is, it's the American way of selling something. And Sergey is Russian.
Yeah.
The American way of selling something is, positivity, good cheer, the hard sell, and it works. Now, he was very philosophical. So I said, I'm going to think about it. And he made me a really good offer.
Yeah.
Folding in, whatever hit I might have to take, it was still great. And I said, can I just think about it? So he said, look, my friend, this is what Audi's offering today. You buy it today, you're happy, I'm happy, Audi's happy. Tomorrow, you may die, I may die. And I said, this is the first time someone's tried to sell me something by actually...
by threatening to kill you?
Conjuring up the image, not quite threatening to kill me, but by conjuring up the image of me dying. And I said,
thanks.
That is a very unique philosophical approach. But I said, in a way it kind of makes sense. And I haven't regretted it, one bit. I put a good number of miles in it.
Quick question. Are we pulling in? Are we almost at our destination?
We are. We are in Burlingame.
All right, we're in Burlingame. We're going to hit up Topper
Jewelers, which is a fantastic place.
All right, so let's wrap up this one. What are your thoughts on the Zin 158? Are you any interested in buying it?
I have to say probably not. I've had a Zenith reissue Capital.
No, that's perfectly okay.
And for the only reason that at 43 it's just, and it's as 43s goes, it's a small 43, but it's just too big for me.
Okay.
But the black and red is lovely.
Let me dial into that. That's why it's so important for watch buddies to share watches with one another. Because he almost trigger bought this watch a bunch of times, but he got to experience it in the flesh. He decided it's not for him. It's still staying with me until I realize it's actually a little bit too big for me. But I love it too. So the important thing is share watches with your buddies. That's why we are in this fabulous hobby of ours. We will catch you in the next one. It's off to do some shopping we go. Peace.
Peace out.